Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's your boy Charles here, back with another video. And today, man, we got another daily, or I guess we should say another nightly playoff analysis, man. And today we had some great games, a whole ton of great games, no doubt about it. Every game, for the most part, was pretty damn close. We didn't have, I know a lot of the past couple days we've had some blowout games, or some games that, relatively were unimportant. Not to say they were unimportant, but we kind of knew the outcome from the start. But today, man, we had some great games, so I'm not going to waste any of y'all boys' time. Just a quick message I want to give to you guys before we start off, and you guys can let me know down in the comment section. If you guys, for these videos, I'm going to try and drop one basically every single night up until the final night of the NBA Finals. I'd like to stay consistent like that and get these made every single day for you guys. But you guys let me know, man. When I make these videos, obviously, I just kind of sit here, I just talk, read you guys off some stats or whatever. Let me know if you guys would want to see some, some game highlights in the background or something behind my voice, because for the most part, I just kind of made these videos, like I said, just me sitting here talking. Let me know if you guys would want to see, like we could put the highlights from the each individual game behind it, or whatever, just some highlights of a star player from a specific game in general. Just let me know what you guys would think about this being more, video style, where, to put a highlight tape or whatever behind it. Let me know if you guys would want to see that rather than, what we're doing right now. But nonetheless, let's get straight into it. Starting off with our first game, we had Game 3 of the closely contested Hawks and Knicks series. Now, we know these two teams split at 1-1 going into Game 3, going back to Atlanta. And it's safe to say the Hawks did not disappoint. They did not disappoint. And listen, Trae Young did not have the game that I expected him to, because I said in my last video about when we spoke about the Hawks and the Knicks, when the Knicks pulled out a big win in Game 2, that I thought Trae was going to come out here with a vengeance in Atlanta and come out with a big win. That really didn't happen. They did win the game, but he didn't give me the performance I expected him to. But nonetheless, Knicks win. Final score 94-105, a big win for them. And for the Knicks, not a bad game. Reggie Bullock, 11 points, 5 rebounds. Julius Randle, 14 points, 11 rebounds. Derrick Rose, once again, plays in the starting lineup, 30 points, 5 assists, and 6 rebounds today. Phenomenal game. Even off the bench, not a bad job at all. Nerlens Noel with 12 points and 8 rebounds. And even Alec Burks with another 8 points. RJ Barrett put up 7 today. Not a bad game at all. But let me tell you where the Knicks go wrong. And it's been like this for the first 3 games of the playoffs we've seen. It's been Julius Randle. The man has struggled to score the basketball. We know coming into this season, the man's been averaging, 25, 26, even 27 a game. And I don't even think he's yet to break the 20-point mark yet in these playoffs. Now, maybe you want to give credit to the Hawks defense. John Collins has done an all right job of guarding Julius Randle, or you could call it Randle choking in the playoffs. To you, your own, man. Like, you could take this however you want to, but for me, whether you think it's Randle struggling or the Hawks are playing great defense, nonetheless, Julius Randle needs to produce more. You're down 2-1 in this series. You're about to play a Game 4 on the road that will basically lock up the series, because we all know when you go down 3-1, that your odds of winning drop to 0 unless your name is LeBron James, for the most part. I know we've seen it before with other teams, but you get the point. The Knicks are not a team that's going to come back from down 3-1. So now you're about to come into a Game 4 down 2-1, and this is basically a must-win game for them. The way I see it, this is a must-win game coming into Game 4. So we'll see how they're able to adjust. But let's get some Hawk stats for y'all boys. Trae Young didn't have the game I expected him to have, but still 21 points and 14 assists. And wow, his passing was definitely looking good today. No doubt about it. A great game for Trae Young, as well as Bogdanovic. 15 points, 3 assists, 8 rebounds. Another great performance. Clint Capella, 13 points, 12 rebounds. He definitely did his thing on the glass today. Even John Collins with 14 points, 6 rebounds. DeAndre Hunter, 11 points, 5 rebounds. Just all around a great game for them. And even you look at some of the more role-playing guys, Gallinari with 12 and 4. Herter with 10 and 3. Not a bad game at all for the Hawks. The Hawks, this is one of those games that we see where there's not one specific guy that stood out today, but just some all-around great team basketball. And you love to see it, man, because basketball, it truly is a team game. We'll get more into that when we talk about our final game of the night, about how much of a team game it truly is. But nonetheless, Hawks take a huge bit of momentum coming into this Game 4, so they'll be playing Game 4 at home with a chance to basically close the series and send the Knicks packing. So we'll see how that one goes. But moving over to our second game, and wow, Celtics and Nets, man, going into Boston for Game 3. And the Celtics did not disappoint, man. They did not disappoint. And this is another one of those games where the Nets really didn't play that bad. I mean, You look at the 3 stars, and they did their thing. KD with 39 points, 9 rebounds. James Harden with 41 points, 10 assists, 7 rebounds. A great game for him. And you could look at Kyrie Irving, 16.6 rebounds. You could look at him and say, Kyrie didn't drop over 20 points, so he was the problem, but that's not how it works, man. We spoke about it. If you guys didn't watch my video, all my videos on the Big Three, all these guys' stats are going to be lower because they have to share the ball with each other. These are guys who are used to being the stars of their team and being the only guy on their team that's really scoring the ball in certain situations. So when they have to share the ball, obviously their stats are going to lower a little bit, so I'm not blaming Kyrie for only having 16 points. But where I am going to blame the team is, once again, it's a team game, and it can't just be done by those 3 players. You look at the supporting cast of this Brooklyn Nets team there, and their bench nonetheless, and even their other starters that aren't part of the Big Three, have usually had some good success, but you look at it today, they really did not get it done. Landry Shamet, 19 minutes with an empty stat sheet. No points, no assists, no rebounds. That's not going to cut it. Blake Griffin with 4 points, 5 rebounds in 25 minutes. Not going to cut it. Joe Harris, 8 points, 2 rebounds in 35 minutes. Not going to cut it, man. We can't be doing this. And it looked like early, I remember Joe Harris had a couple of big shots at the start of the game. I thought he was going to be on just like last game. But no, Harris really struggled today. Even you look at the bench, Nicholas Claxton, 4 points, 5 rebounds off the bench. Really not going to get it done. And simply for the Nets, the role players did not show up today. The Big Three did their thing, but it really shows you that they can't do it all, man. They need that supporting cast. And, of course, not having Jeff Green definitely hurt them today, because we know Jeff Green, even though he's a bench player, has some pretty decent three-point shooting and some pretty decent defense as well. I think he could have made up for the 6-point loss. And I don't remember if I said it already, but final score was 125-119. Celtics take down the Nets, and it was a crazy performance. Let's talk about the Celtics stat here. Of course, led by Jason Tatum, 50 points, 7 assists, 6 rebounds. I think this is the 3rd or 4th time that Tatum has broken into 50 points. And the man is a beast. The man is a beast. But once again, and we're legitimately going to talk about this every single game. Basketball is a team game, man. You see the supporting cast of Boston really showed up today, because so far it's really been Tatum, but today they showed up. Marcus Smart, 23 points, 6 assists, 3 rebounds. Tristan Thompson with 19 points. That's insane, especially considering Tristan Thompson only usually averages around 7 to 9 points. 19 points, 13 rebounds for him. Great game. Even Evan Fournier with 17 points, and he got some heavy playing time. 37 minutes for Evan Fournier today, and he puts up 17 points, 5 rebounds. Kemba Walker really didn't do too much. 6 points, but 8 rebounds. And how often do you see a guy who's 6 feet tall get more rebounds than they do points? That was very strange, I'm not going to lie. Big loss for them today with Robert Williams. He only played about 6 minutes today. Did get re-injured. I don't remember if they announced exactly what it was. I don't believe they have, but when we figure that out, I'll definitely let you guys know. But Robert Williams, once again injured. We'll see if he could play in Game 4. If not, that's going to be a big loss for them, because we know he's been the guy, the one consistent guy on the defensive end of the floor that really does do his thing night in and night out. But nonetheless, Celtics avoid the sweep and take this one down, and it's definitely got to feel good for you. But for me, I've seen a lot of Celtics fans, overreact and saying, Boston in 6, this, and that. For me, I don't feel that way. I really don't feel that way. I feel this game was very similar to what we've seen from the Dallas Mavericks in games 1 and 2, where their role players and supporting cast really stepped it up, outshined their normal selves, and it got them a win. So all credit to the Boston Celtics. Great win here, and we'll see. Maybe they could work with it, use this as some momentum, and tie this series up and sweep their home court as the Nets did. So we'll just have to see. I believe that game will be on either Sunday or Monday. So, yeah, man, definitely looking forward to game number 4 of that series. And our final game of the night, the Clippers and the Mavericks. The Clippers get it done, get a big win on the road. And this one, for me, similar to the Celtics, was kind of win or go home here. Even though it's technically not that way, going down 3-0, you're not going to bring this one back. You're not going to bring it back. But the Clippers finally get it done, man, and I'll tell you why they got it done. We spoke about it when the Mavericks won their last game, that the role players stepped up and outplayed themselves. This time, it did not happen. The Mavericks really struggled outside of looking at Luka Doncic. Luka Doncic, 44 points, 9 assists, 9 rebounds. He did more than enough today, but the supporting cast was not there. Tim Hardaway, who, keep in mind, scored 25 in Game 2, 12 points and 6 rebounds. Maxi Kleber still did his thing, 14 points today. But the big problem here, and I got to start throwing some shade here, is Kristaps Porzingis. This is a dude that when he came into Dallas, we all knew he was coming off of an injury-riddled season, but we were definitely expecting some potential. Considering that he's supposed to be the second star of this Mavericks team, the fact that he's putting up 9 points in a playoff game is disgraceful. Not to mention 4 assists, 3 rebounds. Not gonna cut it, man. But who I will give credit to is Jalen Brunson. He has been consistent off the bench with scoring throughout this series. 14 points today. Did more than enough for the role that he has, but the big problem here, even Dorian Finney-Smith, 6 points, 7 rebounds in 38 minutes. You played 38 minutes and you scored 6 points. Listen, 7 rebounds is nice, 1 assist is nice, but for the role that you have on this team, you definitely need to be producing more than that. And Luka can't do it all, man. And the second Luka left the court, that the whole team just crumbles into pieces. And for the Clippers, it was the same game that they played in game 1 and 2. The same consistency and everything. It was just the big difference maker was the Mavericks. It was not more of the Clippers beating out the Mavericks, but the Mavericks losing to themselves with the way they struggled offensively. So the Clippers take this one. Another great performance from Kawhi Leonard. 36 points, 3 assists, and 8 rebounds. Pretty great game for him. Played 42 minutes. And I don't know if you guys watched this game, but all throughout the fourth quarter, they had Maxi Kleber trying to guard Kawhi Leonard, and he could not get a stop. Kawhi was pump faking, getting him in the air, getting to the line, just overpowering him on his way to the rim. And for me, the Mavericks definitely got to make an adjustment there. I don't know who they're going to switch to guard Kawhi Leonard, but it can't be Maxi Kleber down the stretch, man, because he did not make it happen. But looking at this game, even for Paul George, 29 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, another great performance for him. And Reggie Jackson, once again off the bench, did his thing. 16 points, 4 assists, and 3 rebounds. That's what you like to see out of your bench point guard, man. I said how much I liked Reggie Jackson signing to the Clippers. I thought he was going to be a great addition, and that he's been. Even Marcus Morris, who's usually a bench player, got some heavy minutes today. 34 minutes today, but 15 points. And I know he made 3 corner threes, and he probably could have had some more points if he didn't get fouled out, which is, unfortunate for him. But hey, what can you do? Even Zubac had a couple of big rebounds, was making some nice plays on the glass, had some beautiful picks today. And listen, it wasn't a spectacular game for the Clippers compared to the first 2 games of the series, but simply the Mavericks, they lost to themselves today, man. It's as simple as that. The Mavericks lost to themselves. And you look at the Clippers, shot 41% from 3 today, and even the Mavericks shot 51% from 3. But the big thing as well for the Mavericks in their loss today was the free throws. They missed 6 free throws today, and I believe almost all of those were from Luka Doncic. He's got to get more consistent with shooting free throws down the stretch. He missed about 4 or 5 free throws in the fourth quarter, and you got to think, looking back at the final score, Clippers 118, Mavericks 108. You get those 5 free throws back, and the situation's completely different. You're down 5, late in the game rather than being down 10. And maybe, the offensive strategy is a little different. You don't have to rush as much. And maybe they end up winning this game, but they've definitely struggled to shoot free throws down the stretch. And they did have a decent amount of turnovers as well with 8, which, is not outrageous, but I just felt it was something that could be mentioned. But yeah, man, nonetheless, Clippers take this one. They're going to have to do very similar situation to what we spoke about with the Knicks, where they got to get a second road game. They got to sweep their way on the road here to keep themselves alive. So we'll see if they're going to be able to do just that. But nonetheless, that's going to do it for today's video, man. Don't forget, boys, make sure you comment if you want to see some highlight tape or just some extra stuff rather than just staring at me talking to the screen, So definitely make sure to drop a comment on that. Make sure y'all follow up all my socials down in the description. And I'll catch y'all boys in the next one. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.